Hey, you! Yes, you. Yeah, I see you, huh? Yeah, you. Come closer. I've got something wonderful to share with you. Ah, come on, don't be shy. Get in. Whoa! Whoa. Okay, back up. It's not a good angle. No. That shows my cheek structure too much. That's it. Right there. Now, have you been watching The Last of Us show on HBO? I, for one, think it is a fantastic adaptation of a video game to screen, perhaps even the best video game adaptation we have seen yet. I think it's real, it's raw, it's cinematic, it's everything we wanted it to be, it's everything we love from The Last of Us, which was this gritty, character-driven, post-apocalyptic drama set within an interactive game. Well, have you ever wondered, what if there's a fantasy out there that's like that mirrors that father-daughter relationship, that has this atmospheric setting, that feels that kind of barren vibes, but also is full of vibrancy and character and life? Well, I have got a little song to share with you all today, all about the book Wolfeater and why it fits those vibes. You ready? Here we go. Oh wait, what are you doing? What? Huh? Wait, spin me around, don't drag me off. Right, now that that buffoon is gone, I can give you the real hoedown. Did I just say hoedown? We all know what I meant. Yes, Wolfeater, this is an emotionally rich, character-driven narrative, and I absolutely loved it. I know I'm always positive about books, but guys, I really love this one. I am in a massive Nordic bent right now, and this just hit all those sweet spots. Now, why do I love the book? What's it about? Find out more after the break. Hi guys, welcome back to Hobbit Hole Books. My name is Matt, also known as Miggins on Twitter, and today, as you've probably realised, I'm going to be talking about Wolfeater by Anthony Mitchell. Now, to give you a few details about the book, Wolfeater was an SBFBO 7 semi-finalist, and it shows the strength of that year that actually didn't get through to the finals because this was a fantastic read. The audio narration by Harry Cole was absolutely fantastic, highly recommended. The author is Anthony Mitchell. He is a bearded Englishman living in a part of the north known as the Wirral. Now, I don't know too much about it, apart from the fact that it sounds like squirrel, and I think that's hilarious. So, if you're hiring for tour guides, this guy right here. But let's dive into the book. Why did I love this? This just really was dripping with atmosphere, with character, and it really spoke to the heart. This tale of again, found family, but it's more sort of profound than that. So Wolfeater is set within the world of Damanska, and it is set within the northern realms of that. Now, Wolfeater follows the titular character known as Radok, whose title is the Wolfeater. He is part of the Grey Crow tribe, but he originally is from the tribe of the Valor, the wolves themselves. He was found as a child by the Grey Crow tribe and brought up within their ways and their gods, and he has lived a life of servitude to those gods, the gods of his people's enemies. And all of a sudden, we find Radok in the twilight of his years. He's dying, and he is angry, guys, because he has served the gods of his people's enemies, and he served them well. He has not become known as the Wolfeater for nothing. He has been hunting down his own people for these gods and for the Grey Crows. And so he wants to ask answers of the gods. And so what does he do? He decides to head through the frigid wasteland known as the White Lands and to a holy place known as the Black Rock. Now, the Black Rock is where the Grey Crow tribe send their young to basically become men from boys. And the idea is that you go there and you see if you can convene with the gods, and it's a sort of test to see if you can be part of their religious kind of tribe and become what's known as an Ashendari, which is basically you can talk with the gods and you kind of interpret the gods for the tribe. Now, the idea is that you only go there once. It's outlawed in their society. You can't go there twice. Well, Radok, he doesn't give a damn. He wants his answers, so he sets off. Now, this sets off a few tensions within the tribe, and they chase after him because they can't let him get to the Black Rock and desecrate this holy place by going there twice in his lifetime. But nothing will stop Radok. And accompanying Radok is the heart of the story, Niana. Now, Niana is a young blind girl that Radok himself has adopted. She was basically going to be abandoned by the tribe, essentially killed, because she's a blind girl. She's of no use to the tribe. She's a liability. But Radok took her under his wing, and he can't leave her behind. Besides, there may be something special about her, and so she needs her own answers from the Black Rock. She has her own questions of the gods. And to flip to the other side, we then follow Senya and her uncle Mikolov. Now, Senya, she is hungry for Wolfeater meat. The Wolfeater at the start of the story basically murders her, I think it's her other uncle or her father. I'm pretty sure it's her other uncle. And she is not happy about that. She has a thirst, unquenchable hunger for vengeance against Radok. And so she is chasing him as well as Radok's own tribe. So there's all these sort of convergences as they're all heading towards this holy place known as the Black Rock, this mysterious, enigmatic place. Now, why do I compare this to The Last of Us? It is all about the relationships, and the relationships more specifically between fathers and their daughter surrogates. So on the one side, we have Radok and Niana and their burgeoning relationship. We see them kind of grow as, well, Radok is protecting Niana because essentially the White Land is like, you go there, you basically die almost. Like, it's really, really hard to get through. It's frigid, it's cold, it's desolate, it's almost lifeless. There's a cannibal tribe in there. It's crazy, guys. So Radok is looking after Niana, and he's basically taking her because he can't leave her behind. But eventually they sort of realize they need one another, you know, and there's this beautiful relationship growing there, and at the end it's obviously very emotional as they both seek to get their answers from the gods at the Black Rock. And then on the mirror side of that, you have the relationship between Senya and Mikolov, and Mikolov is there because he wants to protect Senya, and he's there to help Senya as she grows, as she and try and encourage her to grow beyond her need, her desire for vengeance, to understand a different meaning of justice. This book, its foundation is all in the relationship between these two sets of characters, which eventually will converge as they approach the Black Rock. And so this story is very simple. It's, you know, it's this quest for the Black Rock, but really it's about relationships, and it's about diversity of religion and views, and there's some fantastic religious diversity in here. There's a really kind of philosophical discussions. I say in my written review that it covers life, death, and everything in between, and it's really life affirming as well as just so heartfelt. That's why I compare it to Last of Us, because to me it mirrors that relationship between Joel and Ellie in those two sets of relationships that we find within this book. But also, it's to do with the landscape and the atmosphere that's created. In The Last of Us, you have this kind of post-apocalyptic landscape. It's very desolate, it's very bleak. Here, you have the Nordic atmosphere. It's very frigid, very cold. It's lifeless, pretty much. It's very bleak again. And so you have these two comparisons that I think makes it perfect for those of you who are kind of looking for more from something like The Last of Us. Now, did I have my problems with it? There were a few pacing issues. There were a few phonetic action scenes. This is a chase kind of book after all. But, you know, it's very deliberately, moderately paced. And there is a sort of villain in there. But his story, he's kind of there as just to kind of get a lot of the religions across. And so it serves it well in that aspect. In that one character, the villain, kind of ends up introducing a lot of the religions to us and our understanding of the religion, and they're very creative religions. It's basically, on the one side you have the Great Hunt, which is what the wolves, the Valor, follow, which is basically kind of do what thou will kind of philosophy. And then at the end they believe that if they've been good they'll die and go to what they call the Great Hunt. On the other side You have the Grey Crows following something called the Seven, which is basically 7 gods that whisper on the wind, and only these Ashendari, that the religious interpreters can understand what they're saying. Then you have what's known as the Black Wind, which is the 8th, which is like this kind of dark god that's left very mysterious and it's very intriguing. So this villain, basically, he's got this kind of blind spot, this blind vengeance, this blind need to vanquish Radok, and he does pull off a little moustache twirling. I think it plays well enough, but if I'm trying to keep things balanced, I would say that the villain side of it is really the only side of it that lets things down a little bit. But, you know, at its heart, it's not about goodies and baddies, heroes and villains. It's about what is the meaning of life. It's about watching these 4 souls grow to connect to their partners and grow as characters, and to see them wrestle with these really existential issues whilst they cross this really barren wasteland. And it is deeply fascinating, it is deeply moving. I, for one, really, really loved it. I think I covered everything pretty much. Yeah, so yes, you can finish your song now. Why, thank you, good sir. Now, where were we? Getting to this song. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now showtime. Oh, time! Yes. Oh, yes. Sorry. No. No. We've got no time. Sorry. You'll have to wait for the singing next time. Spoiler alert. There will not be singing. Now, I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Let me know down below what you thought of these more rapid reviews. Do you want more of them? Do you think I covered everything in enough depth and detail? Do you think you'll be reading this book? Do you want to know any more about it? Any comments? I really appreciate them. I really love getting content out to you all. So all the links will be down below to where you can reach Anthony, to where you can find his books. All the usual links to my social media and the ways you can support me with my Amazon wishlist and my Kofi are down below. All the Discords, all that lovely stuff. Find it in the description box below. Please like, subscribe if you enjoyed this. It really, really helps the channel grow. Thank you guys so much. Until next time.